Hello. First of all, I would like to say a warm thank you to the Bezentaku family and also Navigator Forum for inviting me to co-moderate this panel again this year. I would like to start by echoing some of the points that were raised earlier today by the Deputy Minister and the President of the Hellenic Chamber of Shipping. I think they both expressed that the green transition is a shared goal and that the maritime cluster needs to approach it with unity and also with responsibility. I think secondly, the fact that it has to be pursued in a structured and pragmatic way that ensures that, one, the rules of the game are the same for all the players. And I believe Mr. Zachariadis talked about the risks of fragmentation in the reporting landscape. And also that it has to absolutely make economic sense, not just, but every single financial year. So coming on to the panel, I am very, very happy today to be surrounded by professionals of this caliber. I think the main point of today's discussion is to ask the question, what does it mean for listed and private companies that the net zero framework adoption decision has been pushed further to the future? What does it mean in terms of the ESG strategy? And what does it mean in terms of ESG reporting? So well, without further ado, I would like to pass this on to my colleague, Kokkofiti from EY, to kickstart with the questions.
Thank you, Pinelopi. A big thank you to all our distinguished guests. Thank you for having you here, and hopefully we have a very productive discussion for the ESG reporting topic, which is not as hot as smart shipping or decarbonization, I guess, but let's see. So I would like to start with Margarita Veniou. So you from Diana Shipping, of course. So you represent one of the leading organizations in ESG reporting, and your commitment is evident through the investments you have done with assurance reports for ESG reporting for the past 5 years. So this clearly demonstrates your establishment in the industry and the importance for the organization on sustainability. So could you share some insights and tangible benefits you had from ESG reporting so far, from this rigorous strategy you had? And adding to what Pinelopi just said, we would like to hear your perspective on the developments that was shared previously. Have this influenced your strategic direction or shifted your strategy going forward with regards to ESG reporting, I guess? Thank you.
Thank you, Evie. Thank you, Pinelopi and Danai, for giving me the opportunity to be here today with you. I am participating in this panel. I would like to start, Evie, by saying that at Diana Shipping, sustainability or ESG, it's not a standalone initiative. For us, it's part of our corporate strategy. Our purpose today is to create and build value for a sustainable future. And of course, that was not the case back in 2015, when we started discussing about sustainability. And our main concern back then was just to meet certain requirements for our banks and investors. But very quickly, we realized that ESG is a strategic tool that helps you identify emerging risks, spot new opportunities, and make better decisions that create lasting value. So we took concrete steps to make ESG part of everything we do. And from the creation of a sustainability committee to the integration of ESG into the responsibility of a certain department, the formation of an ESG team internally for the collection of data in accurate and responsible way, and the running of materiality assessments in order to get feedback from our stakeholders to see what they expect from us. We set priority areas, we set an ESG strategy, and at the end we realized that we had to redefine our core values, and we formed a culture around sustainability to serve the purpose that we have today. So we have integrated ESG into how we operate, how we grow, and how we measure performance. Through our ESG reporting, we transparently disclose environmental, social, and governance topics that they are important for our business. We explain how they are governed and managed using qualitative and quantitative data. So we measure our environmental impact, we renew our fleet, we strive for the welfare of our people, either on board or on shore. We give back to those that need it through initiatives under our Together for Good program. In short, sustainability started as an obligation, but it has evolved into a driver of resilience, innovation, and competitive advantage. And to your question, I think that we are ready for what comes next.
Thank you, Margarita. That's very insightful and also very optimistic to hear that ESG actually helped an organization as yours to revisit and reestablish its core values, is what I'm hearing. But picking up some words you just mentioned, meaning stakeholders and collecting data, I would like to pass the ball to Vasileios. And Vasileios coming from SEANERGY Maritime Group. So as another experienced organization in ESG reporting, how do you think capital markets and rating agencies respond to this level of reliability, if they have responded so far, I guess? And how do you see AI transformation, like the collection and verification and validation of ESG data for ESG shipping companies, especially when moving towards a more audit-grade ESG report could add value, and how could these risks be safeguarded as well?
Hello to wanted at first to say thank you to Ms. Pezantakou for organizing once more this excellent event, as well as the rest of the panelists and the EU coordinators. Sharing the view with Ms. Veniou, with Margarita, that the ESG is a structured tool of accounting yourself and letting a company realize where it should focus and where it lacks. We had pretty much the same experience in a shorter period. This is our fourth ESG report. So capital markets, the truth is that the appetite for ESG was mostly from our sustainability-linked loans and from our investors, not the capital markets itself. So in the same time, we cannot really say that capital markets do not pay any attention. They value the structured approach. They value the set of rules through which you are reporting. So it is a very high signal of transparency, which is appreciated, not directly linked with the ESG report itself, but the mindset behind producing and verifying an ESG report and its results. So we have seen the ESG mindset being appreciated, but not a direct response, let's say, our stock picking up the day the report is released. The truth, though, is that a part of the realization of the markets of the value that we have seen internally is very, very big. Now AI, it's the thing of these days. We think that it will transform the way that the data are gathered, analyzed, and handled very, very significantly. We are already implementing in SEANERGY AI tools to optimize our internal way of working, which has revolutionized our employee efficiency. And in the same time, we are also utilizing some AI tools, amongst which are telemetry data. Let's say we have AI performance analyzing and monitoring with DeepSea. We have Ask Chief, which is it's an agent-like technical manager assisting tool. So we see that it multiplies the efficiency and the wisdom of all of us in a way that will affect every aspect of our organization.
Perfect. Very insightful as well, Vasilis. Thank you very much. And very good to see how you can bridge different topics, I guess, from today's discussion. So I pass the ball back to Pinelopi to move on. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And I think it's very important to, because you mentioned two very, very important words. One is the mindset, and you mentioned that you were evaluated based on mindset. So I think people want to see the commitment, not only the report, which is very, very important, I think. And the other thing is that there are actual tools, and the tools are evolving, that help us create better results in terms of the reliability of data, and they enable us to, enhance our reports and make the informational value of our reports even better for the stakeholders. So thank you, that's very, very interesting. And I would like to go to Lydia now. From LATSCO. You have now been reporting on ESG for 5 years. Congratulations. You have not yet embedded an assurance report on your ESG report. And I guess the question is for you, what will be your main focus going forward? And especially in terms of the developments that we saw in the ESG landscape. Is anything changing in your priorities? Is anything changing in your strategy?
Thank you, Pinelopi and Eva, and of course, Navigator, for the invitation. So, LATSCO is a private company. It's a family-owned company, and sustainability has been a part of our culture long before it becomes a major focus in the industry. So back in 2019, we established a sustainability department for the group. And in 2021, we became one of the first private Greek shipping companies to publish an ESG report, reporting on the previous years, so 2020. And we have continued to do so annually ever since. So even though the IMO's adoption of the net zero framework has been postponed, our commitment remains steadfast and our priorities clear. We operate a modern fleet of vessels, and we will continue to advance our fleet renewal strategy. Investing in energy-efficient new buildings across our tanker, LPG, and dry bulk segments. So for LATSCO, sustainability is not about compliance. And of course, it extends beyond operations to the people and the communities we serve through our engagement in philanthropic activities and our strategy supporting youth in shipping. The YES Forum is a part of it. And now moving on to the first part of your question. Over the past years, we have built strong internal processes and a solid ESG framework. Our reports are already very close to the standards of listed companies, and we are actively exploring all options to advance, including external assurance. Every year, we identify areas for improvement, and we refine our approach, carefully evaluating the right timing to move forward. So for now, our priority is to maintain high-quality data and reliable data, and to continue strengthening our internal verification processes. In 2024, last year, we validated our LATSCO data integrator platform with TÜV Hellas. It was the first initiative of its kind in the industry. Basically, our platform, developed by our operational technology and energy management department, ensures accurate data on our fleet's environmental performance, which we share with our partners and charterers, while also streamlining our ESG process. But yes, external assurance is something that we plan to pursue in our next reports. And before I wrap up, if I may add something to Margarita's very interesting points on the benefits of ESG reporting. What I find really important is that the whole ESG process raises awareness among employees and creates a mindset in the company where environmental, social, and governance factors naturally become a part of everyday decision-making. Over time, we've noticed that this process really encourages everyone involved to think proactively and embrace sustainability through their own role, their own position, and contributions in the company. So that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's very, very interesting. So apart from the tangible benefits, perhaps that you see in investor responses or from rating agencies, you also see a value being generated from the fact that the culture inside the organization is further enhanced because the identity is further enhanced because of the ESG initiatives and philosophy. I would like to say that it's very interesting to see that we have listed and private companies in various stages of the ESG journey. And I didn't mention it before, but we have multiple time award winners in the ESG Shipping Awards. And I believe the principal organizers, Ms. Athosaki and Stathopoulou, are in the room today. So it's really good to see that ESG as an agenda and also as a priority is moving forward despite maybe the developments, I dare to say. So moving on with the private companies, on to Korinna. Korinna, what is your experience in implementing ESG and ESG reporting in the past years? You're a private company, you have chosen to, it's a choice for you to, you've chosen to do it. What did you get out of it, and what are your plans in the future?
Thank you, Pinelopi. First of all, I would like to thank you and Danai for being here. And I'm very glad, I would like to say that after all these years in the shipping sector, it's the first time I participate in a panel that is a part at most of women. Sorry, Vasileios. And I would like to see that in many more subjects, not only reporting ESG finance, but more operational. So this is my next willingness. So speaking about Pioneer, yes, it was never a pressure for us to comply with ESG reporting. It was a choice. It was mainly by me, my team, the management, that we are committed to some values. So ESG report, it was a natural development to how Pioneer was operating from the beginning. I would say that commitment to transparency, to values, to ethical values, governance, is something that is always appreciated by the employees, by the stakeholders, investors, and everybody when you are dealing in the day-to-day operations. So it was natural, as I said, that we wanted to measure our actions, to compete ourselves, to try to improve, to prove that even if you are a private company, you can succeed in excellence, you can stick to the values. And replying to your question, although it was not a compliance, at the end, we found out that it was highly appreciated by our investors. I'm not sure if you know, recently, or the last couple of years, we have raised capital in Norwegian markets, also in Greece. And the transparency of our reporting, our best practices, were highly appreciated, and we have seen a lot of value in us and commitment from our investors. So I would say, if it was again to choose to comply or follow ESG reporting, yes, I would do that again. Now, I don't know if you want to, about how I see things from now on.
Absolutely.
Yes. I would say that many people could believe that all of us are naive, that we continue to spend time, resources, and give our energy to reporting, ESG, and all that, while there are so many changes, geopolitical changes, so risks, IMO, postponement, and we are there, we are graphical, let's say, the Greek expression. I would say that stick to values in that challenging period can act as a moral compass to us. So yes, I'm dedicated and I will continue to follow my values, my ethical standards, and whenever I can, no matter what happens near side in geopolitical, because only by this way we will continue to improve and show to the new generations that no matter what happens, yes, we must be flexible to adapt, but we should stick to our values and ethics. So, and ESG is not just sustainability, it's governance, it's ethics, it's best practices that at the end gives value to all of us.
Thank you, Korinna. Just following on that, I've seen your report, and would you say that reporting was much more difficult, if you like? No, sorry to Korinna. Sorry, just a follow-up question on that one. Sorry.
I was in my things. Thinking.
Would you say that reporting made it a lot more difficult for you, if you like, in terms of what information you already have in the organization? I mean, did you actually have to search more data within the organization?
No. No. We just wanted to make it more practical, let's say. We had that information. It gave us a more structured way to depict all that information. We believe in sustainability. We believe in excellence. We are a boutique company that we want to add value to our operations. So, no, it was not something difficult. I have an excellent team being here today. And it was challenging for them, and I think they enjoy. So it was not something very difficult.
Wonderful. And let me just go to Niki from HEIDMAR. Niki, you listed on the NASDAQ a few months ago.
Correct.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so I guess the question is, what is in your agenda in terms of ESG going forward? What is in your strategic plans that relates to ESG, and also what are you doing in terms of ESG reporting?
First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers and Veniou and the panelists that are with me today. So thank you, and to everybody that's here. Indeed, we did list back in February. So we're at the moment, as a company, we do believe in ESG. We believe in the reporting, in what it stands for, as piggybacking off what Korinna said. There is transparency. The investors appreciate the clarity that is given. It helps the organization as well. So we are, as a company, as being newly listed, we are setting our processes as a company to be able to comply with the reporting requirements. We are also preparing for SOX, and after that we're piggybacking off that to do the ESG reporting. So we do believe that there is a big impact on ESG on the investors. It can impact your cash flows, your forecasts. Investors are looking at it, so there's an impact in all aspects.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Niki. As we mentioned before, we are very happy and glad that we have a diversified in all aspects panelists group here, because we have people from both listed and non-listed companies or recently listed companies, companies that have assurance reports, and companies that are looking into going into assurance reporting with regards to ESG. We were supposed to ask questions to the audience, but I think, conscious of time, we might not do that. Instead, I would like a very brief statement from each one of you, if that's possible, because indeed we have very knowledgeable panelists here, but the truth is that the majority of Greek shipping portfolio is more close to medium and smaller size companies. But what we heard here today is that ESG, which is here to stay, as a shocker for everyone in the audience, but anyhow, so ESG being here to stay, it's also adding value to the companies we have here, and in all aspects, meaning from the people all across the top set mindset of the companies. So what would be from each one of you an advice to companies that are now exploring ESG as a new thing, and what would be the best practice from your side in order to initiate and kick off their procedures, if that makes sense? Yeah,
Okay,
we
so
can start from Niki,
Okay,
if you want.
I'll
Yeah.
go first. So, I would say that ESG is not going away. It's part of the conversation. It's part of the expectation for issuer disclosure, and it's part of the evaluation of risk and opportunity. So it's something that we need to get used to and apply on our day-to-day basis.
Thank you very much. Korinna?
I would repeat that commitment to our values at all times helps the company to improve and not to get lost, especially in difficult and challenging periods. So, yes, stick to your strategy and go on.
Move forward, yes. Lydia?
Similarly to Korinna, I would advise to stick to your values and your commitments and move forward. We've seen a lot of benefits through ESG reporting all these years. And I believe that every company that is thinking to do a step further will see it too. So that's it from me.
Thank you. Margarita?
I would like to say that we consider ourselves as a good example of how each of us can be an agent of positive change. And if you want to improve, your organization, I think we are a good example.
Very nice. Vasileios, last but not least.
The process is of getting your ESG report is very demanding and painful for the organization, at least for the first 2 years. I think that the realizations that come and the efficiencies and the synergies from organizing yourself and your data pay out.
Thank you very much. And Pinelopi, you want to add something to that?
Yes, why not? Well, thank you very much for your insights. I sort of hear a message that governance wins over from compliance, really, because I saw a more active, if you like, take towards ESG than, it's a compliance matter. So thank you very much for your ideas. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who listened to our discussion. And thank you to Navigator.
Thank you. Thank you, Danai.